Well, hello everyone. This is Carrie Beck with FamilyEbiz.com. It is almost Thanksgiving as we record this. Thus, we still have the fall backdrop. Next week, you'll see something different. But hey, today we are talking about gratitude. I felt like this was the perfect time to talk about gratitude in our business and the improvements and the changes that you can see when you express and practice gratitude. It does take practice. If you have not been practicing or expressing gratitude, you may have to actually practice that gratitude muscle. So, as we get started, whether you are listening to the replay or you're listening live, would you do me a favor and leave a comment and tell me one thing that you are grateful for? One thing. Obviously, your life might be falling apart, but if there's nothing else, maybe you have hot coffee, you have a roof over your head, maybe your heater is working and it's cold outside. There is always something that we can say thank you for. The problem is we overlook and expect things that we get every day, that there are people around the world that don't have that. For instance, when I worked in El Salvador, there were many people, one, that didn't have a lock on their door, if they had a door at all. They did not have a dry roof. There was a lady one time, I thought it was for a mosquito net. She had a plastic thing around her bed. It was to keep the rain off. There was a time Steve and Hunter were reworking a roof. They were building a brand new roof for this home. Now, you have to understand, these homes are just four walls. Some of them dirt floors, some of them cement floors. But he started they were pulling off the things on top of their roof. And there were things that the metal was so disintegrated, it just looked like a snowflake. It looked like lace work. There was one time, as he was doing this, he pulled off the bumper of a car. That you just, whatever they could, cardboard a lot of times, but that didn't keep the rain out. And it rains there a lot, especially during the rainy season, during the summertime. So that gave me a whole different perspective on what I have and the things that I need to always be thankful for. How can gratitude help your business? I'm going to talk about some benefits. Then we're going to talk about ways to practice gratitude and how you can actually implement this yourself in your own business, even if you are a solopreneur. All right. So, gratitude changes the giver, not just the receiver. Yes, we say thank you, let's say, to our customers. But the more often you say thank you to your customers, it will change you. Probably more than the people that are receiving your thanks. You, the business owner, are changed. It focuses you on serving others. My heart is to serve others. If you ever see me acting as if I'm not serving you or I'm just all about money, I hope you will just hit that little DM and let me know, because the last thing I want to do is be known as a person that's all about the money. I am all about wanting to serve you. The blessings of money from God are truly a blessing. If I ever act like I don't really care about you, please tell me. But I want to right now say thank you. Thank you for following me. Thank you for being a part of this community. Whether you have bought something from me or not, I truly want to say thank you to you. I want to show gratitude to you as well. So I think it's super important that we express in words out loud, or sometimes it might be a handwritten note, longhand, not just a text. So I think, one, it will change who you are as a business owner. The other thing is, I believe it can enhance your customer experience when you have an attitude of gratitude. It can enhance your team. You may just be you, and it may be a team of one. It'll enhance you. But the more you show gratitude and thankfulness to those around you, your customers will notice it. I can guarantee you. It can also encourage a strong work ethic. You may not even have a paid team, but maybe you have some volunteers that are helping you. The more you say thank you, I truly believe, and actually research shows that people are more motivated to work harder. Actually, Glassdoor reports that 81% of employees are motivated to work harder when their boss shows appreciation for their work. Just showing appreciation means they will work harder. There is a motivation there because they're like, wow, they notice. I was in church yesterday, and our pastor is a coach. and he had some people say thank you for, being a great coach, doing this, that, or the other. And he goes, my normal reaction is to say, oh, it's nothing, it's okay. And then I realized I wasn't accepting their gratitude. And he says, and really, even though I said, oh, it's nothing, it really was a big deal. I was so thankful for them to notice that I had done a good job as a coach. So even when people sort of push it away, that it's actually really making a difference in those people's lives. So this includes affiliates. It may include your VAs, your virtual assistants, anyone that you are working with. And they may or may not be paid, but there are people that you are working with, maybe you're collaborating with. Be sure you are constantly showing your gratitude. Maybe you're sending an e-blast for this person, and this person sending an e-blast for you. Be thankful. I will tell you this. I have been a guest on some podcasts recently, or let's just say, well, recently, but also this past 4 to 6 months. I have sent a handwritten thank you note to every single one of them. Sometimes I've had a special call that I've needed to make with someone. I send a thank you card in the mail. Yes, it is nice, and I do send thank you texts or DMs or emails, but there is something about getting an envelope in the mail that is not a bill and not junk mail. Someone is expressing thank you. That grows and builds your relationship with your partners deeper, whether they are a paid employee or whether they are someone that you are working with in your niche. It's a good thing to think about. Now, personally, did you know research shows that gratitude can actually increase health benefits? And I'm going to read off some of these. Oh, Cherry, you're over here too. Running water is a blessing. Is that not the truth? When Snowmageddon hit Texas, we were thankful for running water. Every 2 hours, we got 30 minutes of heat. And you may think that's crazy. It was like, 10 degrees or something outside? But that was enough heat to get us through the next 10 hours. Those are the things we take for granted. All right, but what about health? Well, adopting a gratitude practice can improve your heart health. I already mentioned this with my homeschool group. Sleep quality. You're going to have better sleep if you will be a thankful person. Overall well-being says that if your health isn't 100% right now, just changing your attitude to a gratitude attitude can turn things around. It is said, let me look at this study, that people decreased heart disease risk just by journaling every day 2 or 3 things they were grateful for. Just writing in a journal 2 or 3 things a day can change your heart health. The other thing they noted in these results, it only took about 2 months of journaling to make a change. Can you imagine if you started right now? That means at the end of January, you could have a whole change in your health just from writing 2 or 3 things down that you are grateful for. Now, there are 3 stages to practicing gratitude, and I would encourage you to watch out for these in your business. Whether you have employees, whether you have affiliates, whether you have team members, whether you just have partners that you are working and collaborating with. Like Kelly's in this group, and she's got a whole group of people doing a blog series on holiday homeschooling that started today. When she says thank you to those contributors, you know that is making a difference. So here are 3 things, 3 steps to practicing gratitude, because it takes practice. So number 1, recognizing what you're grateful for. That means pay attention. Acknowledge what you are thankful for. Actually, in your mind, thinking, okay, this is something I'm thankful for. And then 3, appreciating it. So we say it, but we truly from our heart appreciate whatever that is. And sometimes when I'm like, can't think of anything, and I'm just like, I have a hot cup of coffee. And when I get back from Central America where there's no half and half, I'm like, and I can put half and half in my coffee. That sounds so simple, but it will change my attitude. And it does take practice. It is a habit well worth developing as well. Now, I want to tell you a story, and then we're going to end on how to implement this. But it was about 4 or 5 years ago. I was having a meltdown. I don't know. I don't even remember what my problem was, but something bad was happening in my life. That reel was going off in my head, and it was all the control reel and the complain reel, and it was not good. And I caught myself. I grabbed a piece of notebook paper and I sat down at the kitchen table over there and I started writing down anything that would come to my mind that I could say thank you. And it could be simple, it could be a house, it could be a phone call from my kids, it could be food in the refrigerator, it could be a car to drive. It didn't matter what it was. I just started writing. Before you know it, I was thanking God for who he is. And it changed from physical things to my relationship with God, knowing that no matter all the bad things, that whatever they were, I don't even remember. Isn't that nice? You sort of forget bad things. Anyway, I don't know what it was, but it was bad, and I can vividly remember all of a sudden I had a whole column of things that turned into things about God, and I had started my second column on that notebook page about things to praise God for. It completely took away that anxiety, that complaining, that negative attitude. Gratitude truly can change. And if you are frustrated in your business, if people are not appreciating whatever, you need to show thanks. And as I say this, I am preaching to myself, because I've had some things happen in the last few months from people that I work with that weren't that great. And as I think that, I'm like, Carrie, you need to continue to thank God for the situation, for the people, and you need to pray blessings for those people as well. And so that is one thing I have been practicing. So let's sort of revamp this just a little bit in ways that maybe are easy for you to understand. And maybe if you do have a team, I would encourage you to train your team. First, you develop it in you as the leader, the business owner, the CEO, whatever your level is. Then you begin to train your team. They need to look for it, look for things to be thankful for. Then you need to act on it. And then we need to write it down and then maybe make a system about it. So here, let's just put this into practice. I look for things that I can say thank you to in my business. I act on it by actually telling them. And then I will journal. I will include those. I have written in my gratitude journal business things that I am thankful for. And then systematizing it. What do you mean? That sounds a little like contrived, a little phony. No, actually, if we want to develop a habit, sometimes we have to work that grateful muscle. And if you're not used to it, you may need to make it a system, so that this is my system. When I wake up, after I get my cup of coffee, y'all hear about coffee a lot, tea, whatever you drink, when I sit down for that, the first thing I do is I write in my 5-year journal, just a little thing about whatever happened. And then the next thing I do is I write my gratitude journal. I pull that out. Everything's in a little basket, and then I have my prayer book, and then I pray after that. So that's all right there with my pens and everything. And so I can immediately, that is a system. It is something I've been doing for over 10 or 12 years. It is a system that in the mornings I write something. You may have a better system. Whatever it is, maybe it's at nighttime, maybe it's at the dinner table. I don't know. But if you will, for at least 30 to 60 days, practice, and it takes practice and work, it will become a habit. And not only will it become a habit in actually writing it down, it will become a habit in your mind, because you will change the way you think to gratitude. And I will guarantee you that if you change your attitude to gratitude, your customers will notice it. They will think, I would rather do business with this person because they are grateful that I am following them or buying something from them, or you are helping them, and they become grateful for that as well. There are a lot of ways that gratitude can change the way that you do business as well. So, any other ideas? Okay, Cherry, I'm a little slow on this. She says she was in Peru when she was down there. They asked us to bring a few jugs of water to the church service so they could flush the toilet after the service. And see, those are things we just take for granted. To have a flushing toilet. And not everyone around the world does that. Thank you for sharing that, Sherry. So much. Appreciate that very much. So, gratitude can truly change you. It will change your business. It will change your partners, your VA, your team. But it also change, I think, your customers. And they will begin to appreciate your gratitude and your thankfulness as well. So, If y'all have any other ideas on gratitude in business, that would be great. I don't really have anything extra to get. Oh, I do have one thing. This is more of a family thing. I shared this in homeschool, but I do want to share it. If you are trying to do this as a family or even as just personally, I do have a gratitude journal, a challenge for younger kids, say 10 and under. It'll just give them one thing that they could be thankful for. And if you're working on this yourself, you may want to work on it with your kids, or you may want to take this gratitude challenge. It's just a printable, and you just every day write one thing. Now, if you want to be really good and have your health change in 2 months, write 3 things on each one of those squares for 30 days. I will leave a link as to where you can get this gratitude challenge, and it is completely free as well. It also gives some tips on writing thank you notes, which I personally believe in business is one of the most important things you can do. Write thank you notes, like real notes that you mail. So anyway, I will talk to y'all later. I am Carrie Beck with FamilyEBiz.com. Y'all have a great day.